looky here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
You can listen on patandjt.com. If you're listening, then obviously you know we're back. We're on a podcast. People are finding out every day that we are. And so we appreciate them sharing with their friends. You share with your friends and go to anywhere. It's Pat and JT. And that's where you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Or 402-403-9478. Text us or leave us a voicemail. We'll get to those randomly.
Awesome. So looking through some of the stories that are, I don't get into social media as the way I used to. Let's just put it that way. Not following some of the things that I used to pay more attention to. Every once in a while, a Perez Hilton story pops in my timeline, right? And I take some time and read it. His website, though, whenever I go to his website, it's so heavy. And it just like bogs everything else down.
It's sucking all of your information.
It's
like there's so many advertisers.
He has so many, and he has so much. Like a lot of the ads are like there's flashing ads and there's scrolls and there's so much stuff going on his page. My computer goes every time I go there. It's like it throttles it.
Hates it.
But there was a story on there, and I know you're such a big fan of Taylor Swift.
I'm a Swiftie.
So I didn't realize this had happened, but the last time we talked about Tay-Tay was quite a while back, but I think it had to do with the Kim Kardashian, Kanye West used some lyrics, mentioned her in a song, called her out.
Yeah, and her followers got pissed.
And she claimed that she didn't know anything about that, but all of that had been approved and she had consented beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it was like, come on, we see right through this.
Right?
Come on.
Because Kanye's like, no, he wasn't going to use somebody's, because they have a history. We know they have a history. They had buried the hatchet, I think, after the whole music awards.
They like
dropping the bomb.
Publicly did.
Right?
Yeah.
And so this was all on the up and up, but she made it sound like she didn't know anything about it. And so then her fans were in an uproar and they were coming at Kanye and Kim. And then, whoops, Kim releases the audio of a phone conversation where she acknowledged those lyrics and did agree to let them use them, that they could mention her in the song.
Taylor Swift, Kanye West, they're basically humongous monster corporations.
Yes.
It'd be like IBM going and getting a compact computer and scratching off the logo and saying it's an IBM and saying, well, we didn't know. These two people are too smart to make stupid mistakes like that.
It's true. And so she got exposed.
Yeah.
And she was apparently very embarrassed. See, she's in the September Vogue. I think she's actually going to be probably on the cover, no doubt about it.
I mean, yeah. Who would be...
Right,
who'd be on the cover if T-Swizz wasn't?
So she's going to be that. That's why the story's popping up right now, because they interviewed her about this whole deal, and some of her conversations about being humiliated by this audio being put out there. Realizing, I mean, she really has to step back and go, "Well, I kind of stepped in it." That was kind of on her. But and then there's the whole Scooter Braun thing, and he bought her entire music catalog, and there's just been a lot of stuff going on in her world. But this is one of her quotes. A mass public shaming with millions of people saying you are quote unquote canceled is a very isolating experience. So she on a mass level, nobody could possibly know how she feels because she had hundreds of thousands of followers, millions, that she has, but hundreds of thousands of them were so mad at her, and a lot of people stopped following her, and she took that very personally. That she lost followers. Wow. And she says, I don't think many people can actually understand what it's like to have millions of people hate you very loudly. When you say someone is canceled, it's not a TV show, it's a human being. You're sending mass amounts of messaging to this person to either shut up, disappear, or it could be perceived as to kill yourself.
Oh, yeah. I think
they quit following you on Twitter.
Reading a little bit too much into it.
They quit following you on Instagram. They'll be back.
It'll be okay.
They will.
Yeah.
But I bet because she invested so much into that following that it was real. That whole universe was real because she got so much love from that. It was just like an echo chamber of love that coming back at her constantly.
It's like, next time, don't lie.
And
it's all on her fault. It's all her.
She's come back around a little bit on this, and she said, I needed to restructure my life because it felt completely out of control. Needed to come to grips with this. And honestly, I think she's getting to a good place here because, and maybe learn something. She says, it's really strange to be self-aware when you've been cast as this always smiling, always happy America's sweetheart thing. She wasn't cast as that. She wore that role.
Sure.
She wore that robe. She put it on. She put the crown on. She grabbed the scepter. She had the smile. She had the wave. She owned it.
She is no different than Chris Farley. financially, she's no different than Robin Williams, where their public persona is happy, this and that. They bring it, and
that's what
really
they brought.
behind closed doors, it's just like everybody. They deal with stuff,
Yeah.
and so
but it
it's
got
the same
overwhelming
thing.
because the expectations were magnified.
Yeah.
And she says, but now it actually come full circle here. She actually is almost to a place. She's not quite there. You'll love the quote, but she's almost to a place where she actually owes Kim a thank you because of the fact that this was exposed. Now she's been able to kind of shake off that persona. And she's like her latest album. Was it called Reputation?
A little more aggressive,
A little more dark, right? Look What You Made Me Do.
yeah,
Those kind of songs. And she said, this is the funny part. She said, I got to find it here. We're not going straight to gratitude, but we are going to end with positive aspects. We're never going to write a thank you note.
Okay, fair enough.
So I get what she's saying is honestly, and I'm like, that's kind of really, Kim did you a favor by dropping that audio so that you couldn't have that moment.
And of course she's going to sit there. She's going to defend her husband. She's going to call somebody out that doesn't.
We all know
that
she
deserves
doesn't,
it.
She doesn't care.
No.
She doesn't have to.
And honestly, I get like Taylor Swift saying that having millions of billions of people hating you at once. But at some point, you got to be like, you have probably close to $1 billion, a couple $100 million at least in the bank. You're pretty much on the right track. You got it going. You just got to be bigger than that and be like, whatever. If people hate me, they unfollow me. It doesn't matter. None of that really matters.
You can keep doing what you're doing, or she could choose a different path. I mean, really.
I guess, but then I think about it, like with Kendall and with any of the Kardashians and with Taylor Swift, maybe it does matter if a million people stop following you because they can. Kendall Jenner had said that just with one tweet or one post on Instagram, she'll make multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if they're that valuable, then maybe there's a little more pressure to have people unfollow you.
I do not follow her anywhere. Do you follow
T-Swizz?
Yeah.
I'm not a monster. Of course I do. What are you talking about?
So does she do promoted tweets?
That I don't know.
Because I mean, you know when you see a promoted tweet, when you follow somebody that's of any type of account,
Right.
what I mean, that they have some kind of pull, and they'll throw out a promoted tweet, and it usually has hashtag ad,
Yeah.
or
I don't
something
know.
else after it, so you know that it's an ad. Sometimes they don't though. Sometimes they put them out there, but you can tell that wasn't in their words.
Yeah, I'm sure she probably has.
I was wondering if she even does that.
I don't know. I'll go back and look through.
You should.
I'll go back and look through her timeline.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please get that in your browser.
I'll go creep. Creep
Please.
on old T-Swizz.
Please get that in your browser. Oh my God. And then other news that came out too was the announcement from Hollywood Reporter. You watch American Crime Story.
I do.
FX. And every season is a
great.
different cast. Like, wasn't the first season Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey?
That was
that the first
that was
season?
True Detective.
That's
on
True
HBO.
Detective. That's right. Who was in the first season of American Crime?
I don't remember.
Now I
don't
got to look
remember.
that up because, hold on.
Yeah, True Detective was Woody Harrelson
love
and
that.
Matthew
Was that
McConaughey.
really?
Second season was Swingers. He was on Swingers, tall guy.
I love you.
Oh, I can't even think about it.
You have your phone? Google.
He was on the Dax Shepard podcast a few episodes ago.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Google and see. American Crime Story. Which we're gonna have to do.
Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson. We've had Stephen Dorff. We've had Colin Farrell was on season 2. That's not what I was thinking of, but it was Colin Farrell.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
let's see who else. Maybe it was just Colin Farrell that I was. No, Vince Vaughn. That's who I was trying
Vince
to
Vaughn.
I think I could see
Okay.
his face. I could see the puffiness under his
American
eyes.
Crime. The reason why I get confused because Marcia Clark. I was thinking American Horror Story.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do I keep thinking of Sarah Paulson? She played Marcia Clark.
Right.
Because remember they did
All
OJ
tied together. Yes.
and actually brought new information to the forefront. Really, when they did, she did a phenomenal job. But she's going to be in. I think she's in this next one too, but it's the Clinton years.
Sweet.
And it's going to actually focus on the scandal, and not only focus on it, but Monica Lewinsky is a producer, and the guy who does American Crime Story reached out to her and said, "Listen, we're going to do the impeachment, So it involves you, obviously, because that was the beginning of the end where he lied. The perjury, that's what got him.
Yeah.
It wasn't what he did, it was the lie about it. But he said, I want you in it, and nobody should tell your story, and nobody can tell your story better than you. So you should be a part of this. And you should be a producer because you should make all the bleeping money.
Good for her.
And so she's going to do it.
Because I don't know if her purse line worked out well, but I know she
seriously.
sold purses for a hot minute. But how can you after what she went through, her name Lewinsky, it's you
aside
could
from
never do
changing
anything.
your name.
Yeah, you couldn't.
And disappearing for a while and then coming back with red hair, and because she would have to change the color of her hair, everything. She'd have to change everything about herself in order to be employable, even because she couldn't just walk in and.
No, at First Data, M. Lewinsky, you're here for your interview. M. Lewinsky.
Couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. So anyway, Sarah Paulson's going to be a part of this as well. And I love her. I think she's super talented.
She's so funny on Ellen. I don't know if you watch Ellen. Her and Ellen are great friends, and every time she's on, Ellen scares her. She scares a lot of people, but she really goes over the top with Sarah Paulson. It's great. Just go to YouTube and search that out. It's funny.
I will, because I like her in about everything she's been in.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All the characters that she inhabits, she's just super good. So anyway, that's going to be coming this fall, I believe, is when it's supposed to come. But anyway, be watching for it, because it probably will be. Oh, yeah, it is. Actually, it's going to be running right before the elections next year.
Oh, nice. That is perfect.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Wow. Just saw that.
Well,
okay.
Knowing things that have gone on and conspiracy theories, anybody involved in this better stay off the curbs. Don't go into dark alleys because accidents happen.
Stop. Just stop.
I'm just saying. Be careful out there.
Oh, my God. All right. So a lot of kids going back to school this week. As we speak, it is the middle of August and is the season. There's some going back this week, some going back next week. So in the next 10 days, we'll have everybody back in the school systems, right?
Thursday was, and I always get these confused because there's an open house and then it's a orientation. I always want to say reception. It's not really a reception. Orientation was Thursday. New open house was Thursday at Millard West, and having a boy, because Bennett's a junior now. Going to be didn't go to orientation. Went to orientation because you had your picture taken.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so the way they do it now, you take your picture and you pay for all the stuff for the entire year that first night, which is brilliant. Instead of worrying about sheets coming home and all this stuff.
Right.
So he went to orientation with Sophia, and he was nice enough, since Sophia's a freshman. Because when Bennett was a freshman, he didn't want to walk around and see all of his classes that day, like see where the classroom was. Yeah. And he didn't want to do that. He's like, I got buddies. We'll figure it out. So I'm like, okay. So I didn't do that with him on his his freshman year. Didn't do it. So Sophia is a little different. She's a little more buttoned up, a little more responsible.
I want to know where everything is. I want to know where the exits are.
Yes.
I want to know where the bathrooms are.
She's like, where's my
locker?
She's like, you want an airplane. Yeah. Oh, and yes. Lockers aren't used anymore.
Oh, okay.
By any kids. Because Bennett doesn't even know where his locker is. Didn't know where it was last year or the year before.
So they're still there. Nobody uses them?
Nobody uses them. They just don't, because everything's on laptop. They have a laptop.
What do you do with your coat?
They don't have a coat either. They don't wear coats.
What do you mean they don't wear coats?
They don't wear coats. They don't, and
what if there's a fire and they have to run outside?
Grandma, I don't know. I don't know. That you sound like my mom. What if there's a fire? I don't know. And then you're freaking cold. Then you know what? Go stand close to the fire and warm you up. It's a freaking fire.
But seriously.
When has it ever been a fire? There is never a fire.
But like when it's
I would rather.
What about like a raincoat? Like if it's pouring rain when you get there,
you just run in. You run in the school just like I used to, and just like I did at work a long time ago. Is that I wouldn't wear a jacket because I don't want to carry a jacket around. If I go to the mall, I run in without a jacket. I don't want to carry a stupid jacket around in case there's a fire. So I'm going to
sweat. The coat manufacturers are pissed.
Pat, why are you so sweaty? Because there's going to be a fire.
I feel bad for Burlington Coat Factory right now.
Yeah, well.
No wonder they have their sales.
I think they're okay. 89% off.
That's why they're selling women's clothing and other stuff now. They can't just sell coats anymore because nobody buys coats. Are you kidding me?
I got to admit, it was kind of a surprise to me as well that they didn't use lockers, but it makes total sense because all the books it's all on laptop. They don't have
that,
notebooks.
but don't you have other stuff? They just have they carry all their stuff. So they don't want to carry a coat, but they carry all their
have
stuff
their
with
backpack.
them from class to class.
Yeah, because then they still have to carry all their stuff class to class and a coat. So they don't do that. I get it. I actually
put the coat in your locker.
I understand, but then you got to go back because this leads
my God.
perfectly into what I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Excuse me. Is that this isn't breaking news, but Millard West is huge. All these high schools in Omaha, Millard, whatever, Bellevue, they're enormous.
That's true.
And the orientation, you're going from, they try to plan as much as they can to keep the kids kind of on the same side where they don't have to go from one side of the building to the other.
Kind of like landing at in Concourse A and have to run to Concourse D to catch your plane.
It's exactly like that. And having 4 minutes or whatever it is in between classes to do that.
Wow.
So, but on orientation, you try to get through for the entire year, all the teachers and classrooms you're going to meet because they only do that one time. So you're going to like 14 different rooms in an hour. I was at one point, and there are stairs.
Why? Okay.
I was sweaty.
Okay. So you went to all the rooms with Sophia.
She wanted to go meet and put eyes on every teacher, know where that room is. So even if it's in the last semester of school, she knows this is where I'm going to go. This is the teacher I'm going to be with.
Oh, so like at semester, they'll have different classes,
different rooms, different teachers, different everything.
but they don't do another orientation.
Nope, it's all one night. So you just do it. Just
Well, I imagine once you're there, it's just for the freshmen, I guess, primarily.
Yeah, and there were some
anyway.
there were some upperclassmen, but only new students that were
Right.
new to the school.
That would
Yeah,
make
so
sense.
primarily it was all just freshmen running around. Yeah, so it was just, and it was.
So how many classrooms did you have to
I
go
think
to? do you
14. and at first, and we got halfway through, a little more than halfway through, and we walk. Obviously, I looked distressed. I was sweaty, and the teacher's like, you guys should just. You don't have to do this in order. You can go like all the 300s here, all the 200s, and all the 100s.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, that would have been.
That's
great
like
to
planning
think
your
about it.
route.
Yes.
The other day I had to make like 5 stops. I had to go to 5 different places. I
plan.
literally did. I sat down, had my addresses, and I'm looking at the map and trying to make sure where everything is and what I should go to, what's going to lead to next to plan my drive. So it was a nice little circle.
Yeah. And
So yours was more like a spirograph.
it was, yeah. And we look like tourists at Disneyland half the time. Like 104 is this way. No, that was 107. What? Where do we go down this? It was just.
Were other parents looking the same way, or
I think I don't know.
or did they all figure it out?
I think they were just. We were all kind of suffering in silence. I think, just kind of roaming around. But
Because really, you should if you have the opportunity, you could have seen as many of the rooms as possible as just wandering around the school just to kind of get a feel for where everything is, whether or not it's her class.
yeah,
But I get what you're saying.
yeah.
Okay,
So it was great. It was good.
so did you find her?
I got them all. Got them
So
all
what
done.
are the lockers like in a remote location?
They're all right there. Like right when you walk in, right to the left,
I
they're
don't
all
understand.
right there.
I
They're
don't
all right there.
understand. So nobody uses their locker.
No, maybe, and there are maybe
Is it
some
because
people.
you probably can't lock them anymore?
Yeah, you can lock them.
You can. That I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, because
Have a place for your stuff. I just
but
don't
then
understand.
and it makes sense the way they explain it is because then if you're going from class to class all the time, instead of having to have a book, take it all the way back, grab it, go back to that class, because they try to keep you on the same
Well,
side.
I get the fact that everything's on your laptop, but just your stuff.
But
Otherwise,
like what stuff?
Like I would never carry my purse, right?
They don't have
or
it's
a bag. Or
they have
any
fan-
kind of a bag, and it was like I
fanny
never
packs.
had a purse in high school, so to speak. I had a bag. I had that I kept stuff in my stuff, but it wasn't like
what stuff. I want to know what. But high school JT, like I don't remember girls carrying bags like in.
no.
But we had lockers, so this is
It
different.
was in
It's
my
not a good
locker.
comparison.
Anything that I needed, but it was like it was money. Yes, my driver's license. Yes, brush probably for my hair. Probably a nifty wide tooth comb.
Probably some moose.
Not a pick, a wide tooth
So
comb.
all that can go in one little side pocket of a duffel bag or
There
a
was
backpack.
but I didn't carry a backpack. I didn't carry anything. That was the whole thing. It was like, I don't
Well,
know.
and
Anyway,
it's
okay.
I know, and
So we
I
have
get
this
it. I
whole
didn't even-
area of lockers that doesn't get used.
It doesn't get used. So probably eventually that'll get taken out.
Right?
and- yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So
Huh.
so they don't.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and now I get
So-
why the kids run when it's negative 15 degrees and they're a sweatshirt, jeans, and they just run to the school. I get it, and
And most of the time they're in
it.
shorts. They're not even in jeans.
Yeah, almost all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bennett rarely wore pants, like other than shorts to school.
That wasn't a thing when we were in school.
No, we had a certain day, a drop dead day, where you could not wear shorts past a certain day, and if you did, you got sent home. You had to go change. And my last day, the last day, say whatever, is November 8th, right? On November 7th, I wore shorts just because I could. And it was blizzard. It was so cold. And my algebra teacher, Miss Course, she'd probably get in trouble for this now, but sat me in front of a window and turned a fan on me. She goes, "You think it's funny to wear shorts just because you can?"
Is that where you learned just because you can doesn't mean you should?
Yeah.
We've talked about that.
But that made me a legend in that school, though.
Oh my God. Everybody remembers the kid sitting by the window with the fan.
Yep. The cold kid.
The cold kid.
I was also the kid that stapled Mrs. Hammond's hosta.
What?
So that wasn't a good thing either. That's a story for another podcast.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
It sounds silly. How old were you when you did that?
Wait, like 17.
Like way older than you should have been?
Yeah.
Well, at least you didn't put an octopus on your face.
That's true. I wouldn't do that ever.
Did you see that story?
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Guys, this is nuts. This is a woman from Washington. Her name's Jamie. And Jamie's old enough to know better. She's 45. But she was at a fishing derby, and somebody caught a little...
why would you ever put it by your face?
It's called a Pacific octopus, and it was a baby. It was a juvenile, is what they call it, so it doesn't sound awful. It was a juvenile Pacific octopus. Somebody caught it, and she wanted it for dinner. She's big in fishing. She had like 2 or 3 other fishing derbies she was doing in like 3 days, and she wanted to
mix in a pan.
But she thought it was so soft and squishy that she wanted to take a picture with it, and because they have a picture contest as part of the derby. So people are taking all these pictures. They submit their pictures, hoping to win. I don't even know what the prize is. And anyway, she wanted to enter it. And so she says, it just didn't feel like it could hurt you. And I put it on my face. She's 45.
That's a best sentence ever.
And she says, at first it wasn't so bad. This is so gross. The tentacles were squirming in my ear, my nose. It was just playing with me on my face. And then all of a sudden...
the name of our podcast. It was playing with me on my face.
That's the quote. Okay. And then all of a sudden, its beak, which I didn't know, but they have a beak. They have a beak. Its beak was in my chin. And I knew I was getting attacked. And the photo, you can see the photo when she got attacked. It took several pictures of her.
I hope she
all
won
of a sudden
the contest.
Her eyes
Heck yeah.
were like this big. They knew that was when she started getting attacked. And she said, it was barbed. It felt like it was barbed, and I'm trying to pull it off, but it was attached to her face. She finally pulled it off. Much pain and much bleeding for like half an hour. She didn't go to the hospital. It also injected her with its venom when it did that. And thus, the derbies for the next couple of days, she realizes, my face is kind of swollen. And it's not going away. And she realized that her eyes weren't opening all the way and things were kind of blurry. The left side of her face, her throat, everything was swollen. And it was kind of feeling paralyzed. 2 days. 2 days later, she goes in to the doctor, finally goes to the hospital. And they've been giving her meds now for it. And then on top of it, she ate the octopus while she was going through this, before she went into the hospital finally.
Was it like payback for her?
She said it was a little revenge. And I'm like, revenge? Yeah. You put it on your face.
It's your own fault.
It's your own fault.
There isn't one species of octopus that will get on the beach and chase you, and jump on your face.
Right?
Yeah, you have to do that. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
It's absolutely dumb. And so she still did, she did still enter the pictures. Gosh. We don't know if she won yet.
Yeah, octopus beaks are nasty. I
didn't even think about it.
It is very like science fiction movie looking. Just one nasty beak. It looks gross.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And venom. I didn't even know there was venom. I knew there was octopus ink. The ink, is that the venom? Maybe? I don't know. I'm not.
I don't know.
We're in Nebraska. We don't have octopi.
I have no idea. I learned everything from octopuses on octopi, whatever, from Finding Nemo. That when they're scared, they ink. Yeah, that's all I know.
There you go.
I just know they have beaks. Nasty.
There you go. Finding Nemo. Okay.
That's right.
So that's all I'm bringing.
Biology lesson for today.
For the day.
Yeah, the lesson for today: keep any octopuses away from your face. Octopies, whatever.
Octopi. And Kugler Vision will thank you for that.
Yeah. Is it cheaper if you get one eye poked out by an octopus beak? Would it be like half price at Kugler? Like if they're only
we'll have to shoot him a text.
LASIKing one eye because the other one is poked out by an octopi beak?
We shall shoot him
I'll
a text.
ask him. I'm going to tweet him. I'll tweet him then.
Oh my gosh. You guys get online. It's kuglervision.com. They are supporters of our podcast. For the month of August, when you make that scheduled appointment to go in for a consultation and you go in for your consultation, you're automatically entered in a contest. They'll be announcing the winner on August 30th on Facebook. What they're giving away is actually it's kind of a win-win here because you're going to get a $250 gift pack of school supplies that you can give to your favorite teacher or school, plus a $100 gift card for continuing to buy more supplies. And you also get a $150 gift card for the Mark.
Take your buddies. Take your
Awesome.
friend. Take the new girl that you met at school. Take her.
There you go,
Take
right?
a new guy, whatever.
Kuglervision.com.
Don't get bit by an octopus. Thanks for listening to our podcast.
Pat and JT Podcast. A Parkville Media Production.